Hey there, thought I'd show off the rollover protection, which is the first year on the HDs with this 2017 revamp that you can actually get rollover protection on one of these. Used to be you had to go all the way up to the Protons to get the ROPS. So thought I'd try to go over a couple of things as fast as I could. Pretty simple things I like, things I don't like, and I'll just get right to the don't like. The seat has to have a latch on it now, which that's cool. I don't know if you can see it down in here, right down there, but it's odd because you have to pull it back to lift it up. So I don't even know if I can do it one-handed, kinda. Gotta move the arm out of the way. So, which just seems completely unintuitive on the way that should go. So anyways, real quick, this bracket has to be added to this. So 2 bolts, nothing bad. You do want to take this seat pan all the way off. It says to in the instructions. We tried doing it without, so it becomes a bear because you have to have spacers where the seat belt goes. It goes in between the seat and the sliding brackets. Then that makes it where you need a spacer. Can't really see it here, but on these bottom screws here, in between that bracket here and the seat, you need another spacer there. Nothing challenging or hard, just that's one of the things that has to be done. Make sure you snug your seat bolts back up to appropriate torque specs. Next thing is this bracket here has to go on. Have to reach or keep the bolts pressed up from underneath. Realistically, that's easier at a 2-person job. 1 person can do it, but it's not rocket science. Then this whole fender has to come off. It's only 3 bolts, 3 screws, I should say. They're okay to get to, nothing too awful challenging or anything. Just a little bit of a okay. The screws just go into the plastic. They're coarse thread. Be careful, don't over torque them. It's just one of those kind of things where you feel it. It's like, you know, you do it 5 or 6 times, you may strip it out. That is to get this bracket here in. Can't really see it from that angle. From the rear tire, you can see it a little better. This whole bracket here. It hooks underneath the frame. See if I can get a better view of it. And then ties into that top part. Put your bottom ones in, then go to your other side. Again, the plate has to go in there. This one you can get in without taking that out. Loose mount everything up to that point. The routing of these cables, it's not clear on how they go. I went this way, which everything still seems to function okay. I didn't want to go on the outside because I didn't want it next to the tire, but it just seems like the routing's a little, I don't know, tight, a little more of a kink than what I would think it should have. Like I said, it functions fine, it works fine, there's no hang-ups or anything like that, so I'm sure it's fine. And then putting this on, these bolts here, I just cranked them to where they were snug. When you crank those on, you can see this gap actually close a little bit. I didn't want it so tight where you couldn't move it easily, but it's a locking nut, went on pretty good. So that was basically the installation. It took me and another guy about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to do it. If it was a one-person job, I'm sure it would have taken me at least a solid 2 hours to put this on. But I'll show you where it sits when you roll it down, just to kind of storing position or in the bottom position. You do have to add these little rubber bushings here in there. Pretty easy. Has some Jesus clips, so if anybody knows about those. The reason they're called Jesus clips is if you slip a little bit, you better pray to Jesus you find the thing, because you have no clue where it'll go. But we didn't have any troubles with that. There's some set on the top and then a set on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it there or not. That's what it rests on for anti-vibration rubber dampeners. But here it is in the stored position. If I can get it to focus here. So, yeah, there you go. We'll see how it works. Hopefully I never see how it works. Not gonna lie, I don't want to see how it works. Just thought it'd be neat to have it on there, and since other people use them once in a while, I don't want anybody rolling it either.